What's going on, everybody? My name is Samir Azizi, and you're tuning in to Azizi Podcast. And today we are having this guest for the second time, two beautiful guys, Matthew Glezos and Antoine de Vuyst. And we are discussing Toronto DAO. What's up, everybody?
What's
Hey,
up?
thanks for having us.
Uh,
Of course, of course. We are discussing a project that is we both three of us are involved equally in. So I feel like it's great to have this platform to kind of reconcile, to sink in, and to tell the public what's been going on. So, Toronto DAO, we've been working on it for a while. We had so many meetings, weekly meetings. We were discussing, planning, and there are finally some progress. And let's talk about it. What's been happening lately? I'd love for you guys to kind of give our audience some rundown of latest updates.
So I guess the big news, of course, is that we have not only distributed memberships to the early adopters, but we've just, as of last night, had our first proposal go live. So it's sort of like the first real step of the DAO coming to fruition. Or at least that's how I feel like it is. Even though there's like a lot of work leading up to it, as you said, there's a lot of weekly meetings. It sort of feels like it's super real now to
Mm,
just see that up there.
totally agree. Antoine, you have anything to add to that?
yeah, I mean, we just keep facing new challenges, and right now we have to get people to actually vote, which is the next challenge.
Yeah.
So, voting for the first time, they just have to, set up their whole wallet and stuff. So I think it'd probably be easier to get the second vote, but the first vote is just something where we have to egg people on. So yeah.
I feel like I finally realized this idea behind organizing, this kind of political movement, grassroots, like, oh, we have to organize, we have to organize. That shit is hard to actually organize people and get them inspired to do something. And even like on the scale of our little experiment here, which sounds very simple from the surface, but again, like at the back end, we've been meeting a lot. I know, Antoine, you've been putting in a lot of work just like programming this whole thing. And Matthew, you were very kind enough to like do this whole infrastructure and educational videos, and I've been trying to kind of increase the awareness of the whole thing. So it took a lot of hours, but now the point is we have to sell this thing, right? We have to sell this thing to the public. We have to get them excited. So we have this new proposal, and the proposal is basically very simple. The proposal is literally says, let's start Toronto DAO. Are you for, against, or abstaining from the vote? And the best part about it is that the whole vote is going to be on the blockchain. It's going to be fully transparent, and everyone will see that this was a fully democratic process. But yeah, the one thing right now is, of course, as you said, we've distributed the memberships, but we want to get more members and not just like get the members and then they're signed up for the sake of like, okay, I signed up just in case something happens and I can like moon this whole thing. But we want people to be engaged, and that's where I think is the real challenge is to make sure they know what they're getting involved with. What do you guys think about that? How do we do this?
It's always a challenge. You always get people that when they sign up, they go like, yeah, no problem. But once they have to put a bit of work into themselves, that could be a bit of a challenge. Um, I mean, voting itself is a very simple process. So I feel like we just have to get that word out. This is going to take 30 seconds max of your time.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like once we successfully get that out, people will start voting and we'll see those numbers increase. But just I feel we got a lot of people that signed our WhatsApp group last night at Bitcoin Bay. And I feel like just announcing we're literally giving you the memberships right now. Um, I feel like that was it made it much easier for people to convince them to sign up at least because the benefit is almost immediate. Whereas like the past few months, it's maybe they thought it was all speculation and let's see if they actually get anything done type of deal.
Right. And Antoine, you've been developing the membership infrastructure in terms of, the NFTs and like
Yeah.
minting the tokens for the members. Can you talk a little bit about the tech behind it and, the platform, the network that it's on? What are the challenges and what are the benefits of what we've developed for them?
So yeah, we deployed an NFT smart contract on Gnosis chain. And we basically said, hey, let's manually give out these membership NFTs to all our members. And each NFT is non-transferable. So once you have it, you can't send it anywhere. You can't sell it. So it's basically yours for life. And right now, like the distribution process of the NFTs, where we give the NFTs to different members, is basically manual. That's just to start, but we can upgrade it over time. And right now, the voting process is actually off chain. So the only thing that's on chain is the NFT. So you need to have the NFT in order to vote. So the permission to vote is on chain, but the actual record of the votes is off chain at the moment. And yeah, we want to move to on chain voting, of course. But right now we're using Snapshot, which is like a standard DAO voting program that people just use. A lot of DAOs use. Yeah, but I can't wait till we go to on-chain voting though. That's going to be really cool.
How hard it is to do the on-chain as well, besides just like having an on-chain membership, just have the
no, in principle it's not that hard. You just need an app. The only problem is you have to pay transaction fees to vote. But since we're using Gnosis chain, it's the transaction should be quite cheap. So the only barrier will really be just distributing XDAI to everybody so they can pay transaction fees on Gnosis chain. And yeah, just finding or creating an on-chain voting app. There should be some out there. Yeah, in principle, it's pretty simple. It's just a matter of, like recording the votes on a smart contract.
And if it's going to be on a smart contract, are we still going to stay on like a Snapshot platform, or is it going to be
no, the Snapshot platform is only off-chain voting. So we'll probably create a proposal to upgrade to a new platform.
Got it. Yeah, that's definitely like a process that, as I said, we're not running a sprint here, we're running a marathon. So definitely let's get our members. We already distributed, NFTs to them, so they are officially members. We should let them vote on snapshots. So even like on Snapshot, there still be recorded like where their keys and their
and
wallet
the other thing
addresses.
That we have to do is we have to figure out who has the permission or the ability to create proposals in the first place. Is it any member, or does it have to go through a pre-proposal process, or maybe we have like certain delegated members that are able to create proposals? Yeah, that's because I don't think like right now maybe we have a small enough group of members that any member can create a proposal, right? Maybe we can do that. But if we start getting hundreds of members, then that won't really be good anymore because we'll probably just get a bunch of spam. So yeah, that's critical. And then once we have that figured out, I imagine like the proposals that emerge from the members will really determine the direction of Toronto DAO. Because I have a lot of ideas for Toronto DAO. I keep telling people like I have my ideas, you have your ideas, but who's to say that that is the direction Toronto DAO should take, right? Why should it? I'm not a dictator. It shouldn't necessarily be up to me. So yeah, so we really want to see what kind of proposals we come up with and agree upon as like a DAO, because yeah, it'd be really cool. We just have to figure out how we can take everybody's ideas and like create like an amazing like synergy.
Yeah, it can be like a maybe some sort of a model United Nations style where, they put out a draft and then you collect, signatures like cosigns and all of that from various members. And let's say there's some sort of a threshold of certain amount of cosignees, like we can put that to the vote and something like that. So it's definitely like the mechanisms in terms of those like voting structures are there. We can just shop around and choose the right one for us.
Yeah.
And I'm sure maybe even Snapshot has something like that.
I feel like ideally that wouldn't be up to us too. Like we could set like we could have ideas and we could like let the DAO know, but maybe as Antoine said, we all have ideas and maybe another member just speaks up and says, what about this idea? And something we'd never even thought of, and it's perfect.
Well,
Exactly.
like in the interest of full transparency, like just so people know, the way the system works right now, as we speak, is that proposals can be created by like authors on Snapshot, which is essentially us three, right? We can add new authors if we so choose. But if we want to upgrade the system to make it more decentralized, then we have to create a proposal to say, okay, we're going to upgrade to this system. But right now, we have the power to create that proposal, right? So it shouldn't stay that way. So we need to create a proposal saying this is what we're going to upgrade to, and then see if the members vote on it, and then go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the same time, like I would also kind of like share my thoughts is like we don't have to necessarily rush into like decentralizing right away. We have to build an infrastructure first, so we have to do everything manually.
Yeah.
And as you can see right now, like, us three are the most devoted kind of invested members, right? And so like it's ultimately a goal to decentralize and give power to the people. But right now, just for us to build it, we have to be, founders, so to say, in this and where we
That's
can
right. Yeah.
establish the system.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, don't feel bad about yourself,
No,
guys.
I
If
just want to put it out there just so people know
Yeah.
exactly what's going on.
for sure,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and in terms of like where do we want to go with that, what kind of proposals in the future, I also wanted to make sure like when I give my little spiel about Toronto DAO to other outsiders, to people who we try to pitch this to, is that it's not necessarily something super tech related. Like I really see the whole snapshot and voting. It's just a tool that we're using. It's a revolutionary tool that is relatively young, but already like, getting so much attention and so much weight just based on everything that's happening in the news with blockchain that it's definitely something new, but ultimately it's an underlying foundation for something that we want to do for non-tech people, for non-tech society, or tech plus social. So uh, it's not something that will be related to tech, in my opinion, in terms of proposal, or it doesn't have to be. We can have social issues that we can put to vote. We can put some political issues. We can put some municipal issues. And ultimately, the DAO itself is just for us a tool to express our collective voice. And that's what's revolutionary about it. But ultimately, we are an organization that wants to help all the people and not just the crypto community. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, basically, I've always thought not just for this, but for like blockchain in general, the projects that take off will likely do the best job at hiding the blockchain aspect of it. And the dApps or decentralized apps, if you will, they basically create this amazing user interface that anybody with little to no blockchain knowledge can click a few buttons and they're good to go. So that's really what I would like when we create like our non-snapshot version of this. It's just, click, add, sign in with your membership. Even do that without MetaMask or something if possible, and just click vote. And like
Absolutely.
if we could get it as simple as that, that would be perfect.
I agree with you. That's the key to success in everything blockchain related is show the people the button that can be intuitive and they understand what's happening and you push it and it works. You don't have to know all kinds of keys or whatever, NFTs, cryptographic contracts. No, normal
Yeah.
people just want to have their voice heard and that's about it. Everything tech related, leave it to the engineers. Antoine, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so I've said this before, and I think like one of the, if not the biggest challenge, is not a technology challenge because the technology is already there, but the user experience challenge. So it's also a challenge that the user experience that a lot of people underestimate, because they're like, oh yeah, we can just build this, it works, yeah. But then people just they don't want to use it, and they don't want to like do the initial setup phase steps to be able to use it. So for example, Snapshot right now, like we have what like 4 votes on there. We had like 25 members, and the deadline we set to Friday. So I don't know how many people are going to vote. We have to kind of egg them on and like hold their hands through it. But I mean, if we had a better user experience, we might already have 20 votes by now. Um, so yeah, that user experience is really the main challenge that is the main challenge that's stopping us from having mass adoption of crypto as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, even like right now, we're going through the onboarding process, right? We have people who are enthusiastic and they want to be a part of it, but not everyone has the time or the will to figure this out, you know. So it's up to us. And Matthew, you've done some great videos on onboarding process as well for Toronto DAO. So it's just like we want to make sure that the onboarding on the Snapshot platform and just even creating their own getting like checking their own NFTs, for example, like that's whole thing is very clear and transparent. But it again, like it's something that we will develop with time, but absolutely like the easiness, the frictionless of the process is definitely the key to ultimately the most part of the success comes from there, I would say. The rest is, the humanity is kind of already getting it.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, so part of my strategy that I like to use, so I know with user experience is important, but obviously we also have users have to be expected to undergo a learning curve. Um, Even with the smartphone, we all went through learning curves, right? It wasn't purely like magical user interface that we knew how to use right away. We had to learn how to use a smartphone, and likewise, we also have to learn how to use crypto wallets and DAO tools and stuff like that. But the learning curve can be softened with incentives. So if we have incentives like NFTs or tokens, where people, or I call them bounties, where people can earn rewards for doing tasks, then I believe the learning curve can be softened. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's one of the ways, right, to incentivize the users do certain actions in exchange for certain rewards
yeah.
that can potentially, bring them benefits as well. Um, in terms of overall step by step, like what is our next step, in terms of Toronto DAO? I say we do Twitter Spaces. We kind of discussed that before, but we'll have another discussion on Twitter, aka X. So that's one thing that we have in plan. And another thing that we have is potentially having an event next month in February, offline event in real life,
Yeah.
where we can basically give our case, present our case, present a little bit of information about Toronto DAO, and just have a good time and meet and network with people here in downtown Toronto. What do you guys think about that? And besides that, what else can we do in order to raise the awareness about Toronto DAO?
Well, I like the in-person meetups because the reality is, during COVID, a lot of people tried those sort of digital networking events, and I think I personally attended like two before I gave up on them. Um, and so it really helps to get people to come together when it's in person. Um, and I also like the idea of creating like somehow incentivizing voters.
Mhm.
Right. Like even at the offline event, if we can have some sort of rewards for people who attend and all the members can have some sort of distinguishing sign or something like that,
Yeah.
it would be just fun or funny even, to have that. So
Yeah, I'm thinking like, some kind of early, some kind of con prestige NFT saying, I was one of the first voters on Toronto DAO. Like I
mhm.
was part of the first vote in Toronto DAO, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Antoine, with this NFTs, since we have our NFTs memberships on Gnosis network, and it's you cannot really see it on your MetaMask wallet. You have to actually go on the network and see it there.
Blockchain Explorer, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like you want to brandish your NFT, or at least like I would love to have my NFTs visible in my wallet app, for example. What can we do about that? So it's kind of more aesthetically pleasing for people to kind of brandish their NFTs and do that.
Yeah, that's a great
Or
question.
is it even important? Like maybe
No,
it's
it's
just me.
definitely important. Um, so with regular NFTs that are transferable, usually have marketplaces for that.
Mhm.
I would say marketplace doesn't really make a lot of sense in this case because it's not something you can sell. Um, but yeah, so I mean, what comes to mind is um, yeah, so it's something we should put on our website where you can see that you have it. It's something where you'd want to be able to share it in social media, right? So like some kind of social media integration that doesn't exist yet. So like for example, if you had it on like WhatsApp, that would be amazing because a lot of our communities are on WhatsApp, right? So if
Yeah.
you can show like show it off on WhatsApp, that would be incredible.
There
I
used to be
don't
things
know.
like that, but even recently X decided to drop their PFPs,
Yeah,
NFTs. So it's, I don't know. That's where I'm like, where this is going, like maybe we should just like list the memberships on our website and have like kind of like the
yeah,
board of members kind of thing, and they can just go there and check it or something. I don't know.
yeah. And like if we had some kind of like our own like chat software or something where people just come and talk in like Toronto DAO online town hall or something, and it would show it off there, Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is part of the user experience thing that we're talking about that
Hmm.
we have to solve, and we have to like come up with clever ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it's like, what can we do aside from that? Again, this is not a project that is like, hey, look at me, I'm a crypto head, this is my NFT, blah blah blah. Let's all, flash each other and kind of like stunt each other, right? With that. It's more of like, hey, I'm a part of this, so therefore I have certain rights, therefore let's work together to do something good for the community. And so like the tech kind of goes on the second plan, whereas like your action as a community and your networking and organizing offline or online is what matters.
Well, I
And
think like a Toronto DAO membership is a lot like a citizenship card or a passport or something like that.
yeah, absolutely. I love that idea, and it's just it gives us a window, an opportunity to offer more perks, to the members and more opportunities to them. So that again, it goes back to the incentives, right? It goes back to like, what else can I do with this memberships?
Hmm.
So it's a great tool to brainstorm. But again, we have to have more members, to have more proposals like that. Guys, this is exciting. I'm really excited that we've launched and we have our first proposal is up for the vote, and the vote expires on Friday night. And once we've officially voted on that, hopefully the vote is successful and we can proceed to the next step. We will announce our offline event. We will also have Twitter Spaces, X Spaces on Thursday. We're gonna chat more about that, and we'll just have more fun with that. At the end of the day, again, this is a long process, and we're just very, very, very early here. We're at the very beginning, and that's why it's actually very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Um, this is it for me, but you guys do want to discuss anything else, or we're just ready to kind of move on and go on with our day?
I would just say maybe like share what people need to know to join.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and share, guys.
It's pretty straightforward. Join our WhatsApp group if you haven't already. We'll periodically repin the sign up page so that you could see it for new members. Drop your Ethereum compatible address, and we'll start dropping those new NFT memberships, and then go to Snapshot to vote. Is there anything else? Did I miss anything, Antoine?
I mean, yeah, as long as they we can share the link. Yeah.
Sure, we'll share the links. Our website is tdao.to. Our public wallet is tdao.eth, and the whole process basically comes through our WhatsApp group. You go there, we'll give you a link to apply. You apply, we give you the membership. After that, you also, and that's kind of like where it goes. We might have a lot of steps for that. We have to like decrease our steps for the whole thing. Get on Snapshot, connect your wallet, and you'll see that you're a member, and you'll be able to vote. I'll drop all the links in the description, and I really really appreciate your time, guys. Let's keep going. We're really having some sort of a momentum here. I really feel it, and I'm really excited to see
Good.
what's to come.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks again for having us.
All right,
Thanks.
thanks, guys. Take care.